Go.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of She Said He Said. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the emails that we've received. Hopefully, we've gotten some emails because it's a future episode. Anyway, we got the entire crew tonight, and tonight's topic will be going from the X to the next. So we're going to talk a little bit tonight. Well, everybody's going to talk a little bit tonight about their past relationships and kind of sort of how they move on to the next and how they deal with the next person. But before we get to that, how's everybody doing?
I'm all right, man. I had to drop my girl and her cousin off to see Captain America, and I'm not there with them. It's all good.
Oh, that sucks. That was a good movie.
I
I'm
heard.
going to see it Sunday with my partner.
I have it on bootleg.
Oh, is the bootleg good? Nah, let me say. I want to see it in 3D.
It's all right, but I'm still gonna go to the movies to get the full effect.
All right, gotcha. All right. Other than that, I'm good. My bike is black now. It's all good stuff. Happy.
I'm just enjoying a sandwich. It's life.
All right.
I'm
That's.
usually the one eating on a podcast. That's funny.
I know he be messing up the other podcast, sucker.
I ain't been on there in a minute.
Yeah, I know they've been asking for you.
Look, man, I'll be back. Got some stuff to talk about
Yeah,
on
I
there.
know. I know you'll be black. It's all good.
Okay. All right. Anyway, Tori, anything you want to add?
Oh, I'm good. Hey y'all, I'm just chilling.
All right. So, Kira, you're gonna start us off tonight.
Why I always gotta start?
Because you're awesome. So, oh, you want me to start?
Yeah.
All right, I'll start. From an X to the next. I gotta take my glasses off. So I can...
Rob has never been in a relationship, you all. He lives with his mother.
Wow. Drop one of Clue's bombs on him. Hey. And he got quiet.
He's
And you shut
speechless.
him up. Yeah, you shut him up.
Because I'm trying to be a new man. All right, that was funny. Unfortunately, I have been in some very long-term and committed relationships, and neither of which worked out. Um, a rule of thumb for me, kind of sort of, when it comes to exes, I've had one of my committed relationships was a very bad, very nasty breakup, and the other one was more mutual or cordial, I would say. Like, we're actually still cool. We text, we talk every once in a while. But I still think there's like some underlying you a sucker, type deal. But
What the
there's some harboring feelings
heck? My
there.
bad. I
But
didn't
nah,
mean to laugh at that.
all right, so it's funny though. All right, but my first relationship, I was younger. I was in college. We started out as friends. It's part of. I have a curse too. Remind me to tell you about my curse. I have a curse. We started out as friends. I wasn't even attracted to her at all, like that. Like, she was just cool. You know what I'm saying? And we were friends for 2 years before I finally realized that I loved this girl, and I told her. And so we got together. We dated for 2 years. Things were going well until she had to move away to go to grad school. Um, and that created distance. She was, God, was she? She was about 2 years younger than me, 2 or 3 years younger than me. We didn't. No, she was 2 years younger. I can't remember, but she ended up cheating on me. And I ended up finding out.
How'd you
You
find
just
out?
laughed? Wow, she laughed at me getting cheated on. Thanks for your support.
Damn.
You're welcome.
Under
It
the
was
bus.
that was one of that was and it was like one of the worst things that ever happened to me personally, because when I consider you a friend, like, I really give a lot of myself to you. Like, you're basically family to me if I consider you a friend. You know what I mean? And this person knew
Thank you.
everything about me. Like, we've known each other at that point for about, God, 6, 7 years. So I'd given her a lot emotionally and monetarily, but that's besides the point. And that one, needless to say, it ended badly. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't really talked to her since. Um, my most recent breakup was basically we grew apart. The heck? We basically,
What the
y'all
heck?
can't see what we just saw, but we basically grew apart. You know what I mean? We were together for 2 years and we just grew apart. Like different goals, different dreams. I got to get mine. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. I got to get mine. I'm a very ambitious person. And once I set my mind to something, I'm going to do it. And I have a path that I'm trying to follow and I'm trying to stick to it. I like staying
And I'm
committed to things.
sticking to it. And I'm sticking to. Oh, sorry.
Yes, that. So that ended. So as far as exes, one of the things that I do personally, I reflect. I look at the relationship and I say, okay, and even throughout, I say, what could I have done differently? What could I have done better? And I try to, when see people criticize me or give me constructive criticism, I try to take it in and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I could work on that. Maybe I should work on that. So when a relationship doesn't work, it's very important because I feel like every relationship is a part of your cycle.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like one of my close friends told me, she was like, Rob, your problem is you always date the same girl. And I didn't get that. You know what I mean? I really didn't get it. But when I sit down and I really compare who they were to the core, they were very similar. Some things were different, but they were similar. But here's the thing. Here's my curse though. Never, ever, ever in my life. Every time I've been in a relationship is because the girl has liked me first, and then I kind of take it from there. But whenever I've liked a girl and I've tried to pursue her, it never works. Ever.
I
I
wonder
never
why
get
that is.
I never get with them. Ever.
Yeah.
Like ever. It is never truly is never worked. Ever. And I don't get that either. And you know what's funny? The ones that I typically like are probably the most different. They're not like the ones who typically like me. They're
Hmm.
different. And when I pursue them, it never works. It never works. It's like they just want to be friends, or they're not interested, or they just freaking disappear. I don't know. Or they get. I had one of them just get scared. She's like, "You're too much. Like you're too good to be true. You got to be hiding something." And I'm like, "No, but okay." So as far as on to the next, I try to bring a better version of myself to the table every time because some people feel like they don't need to change. It was the other person's fault. No, you know what I mean? We all have improvements that we can make as people. And clearly the last relationship didn't work for specific reasons. And I feel like everybody, regardless of how the relationship ends, a lot of the time, both of y'all play a part. You know what I mean? Both of y'all play a part. So I try to take that in consideration. So in moving forward, what the heck? These facial expressions. In moving forward, I try to leave that behind, and I don't bring that into the new. You know what I mean? It's not the new person's fault that whatever happened to me. So that's pretty much how I deal with it.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll jump in. X to the next. Well, I'm gonna try to stay literal to the nature of the topic. Um, you know, depending on how you separate with somebody should determine, you know, like I have a rule. Like I take some time, like Robert said, to reflect and say, hey, what did I do wrong? And then, call it what it is, what the other person might have done wrong. And oftentimes, there are good relationships that end because of either pride, ego, people not conceding if there's an argument or disagreement per se. Example with me, that relationship that on the last episode of the show that I had revealed I was with somebody for a significant amount of time, a decade and a half, and there was just so many things working against that relationship where, I was pretty much defending it more than being in it. So many people
Mm,
were disapproving and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Everybody had something to say. She was 12 years older than me or whatever. I didn't care about the age. That was my boo. That was me. Like,
right.
there was more in common between me and her than, but ultimately the failure of that relationship came from how I handled folks, like, saying bad things about her, or like my male sibling who I no longer deal with as a result of things that happened in that relationship. It was pretty much that, it's one thing where that person pretty much became how can I say, she said to me I made her transparent, where and that was so far from the truth. I was pretty much protecting her from some of the negative comments, some of the stuff on social media. So I didn't put her on my Facebook or anything like that. I was literally living two lives. And
Dang.
once she caught whim of this, instead of understanding where I was coming from, when I had said to her, hey, I just didn't want the aggravation. I just wanted to enjoy you. I don't have to share my treasure with the world, because you got a lot of people like Johnny Depp, celebrities who like to stay private because they know some of the harsh things that people say. But
Right.
she took it as, oh, I'm ashamed of her. I'm this. I'm that. And initially, I put it out for the world to see. I was proud of who I was with, But she found a way to use that as the reason to leave me. After all that time, a lot of friends, my brother I don't talk to no more, a lot of cousins that don't talk to me, all of that gone, right?
Hmm.
Amongst other things, and then I had to really take I should have taken longer, but I found a good girl now. But it took me like over a year to recover from that because it made me question some of the severing of friendships and things like that. So it just, when you leave a toxic relationship where it's just like nothing is going in your direction, take some time, heal first,
Yes.
look at you, say, hey, you know what, as Rob said, bring a better version of yourself, but don't be embittered. Don't bring your baggage, your scars into the next relationship because it's going to doom everything after it, you
Yep.
know? So, as far as on to the next, you know, early in dating, some people say, hey, you know what, when you're with someone new, don't bring up your past. I disagree with that. I think that you should put it all on the table. Put, yeah,
Exactly.
put it all out there. And Tori's agreeing with me, but you have to know what you're dealing with, what you're getting, so that if somebody hurt them a certain way, to love them past their pain or to work around it. Because I wish I knew this with my ex of 15 years, because she was suffering from PTSD from the Gulf War, Desert Storm, and a lot of stuff. She was a very aggressive person, and now learning that the better version of myself with the woman I'm with now, I can I can see things early on. The experience, the eye, that awareness pops up. So it's like,
Hmm.
you want to get better as a person to pick up things so that
Yep.
you can be the best partner you can be for that person. All comes down to compromise. All comes down to the willingness to not have pride like my ex did. She would always down me and tear me down or whatever, and I got really defensive with my new girl, and it's just like, you have to start anew, put everything out on the table, what your baggage is, and if they're willing to deal with it or work with you past it, then you got to keep her. But I can
Now,
go on and on about that. But I mean, this should probably be like a 2 or 3 part series because there's so many dynamics to moving
yep.
on.
I agree.
But I don't want to take too much of the floor. But let's let Tori go next. No disrespect to because no disrespect to Shakira. It's just that because she was, I
It's cool.
guess.
Honestly, I really don't even want to talk on this podcast today. So,
You
I mean, I'm
don't.
gonna say something anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
You
It
don't
don't.
have to. You don't
Yeah.
want to, because I mean I know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? So,
hmm Okay, we got you. But the only reason why, because Tori was agreeing with something I said, and I guess while it's still fresh, I just wanted to give her a chance to speak on it.
yes,
Okay.
I'm curious to hear this.
Okay. It's super crazy because my, I guess my experience was just different from everybody else's, because of the fact that, like, it seemed like everyone, or so far, like, it seems like the other person is like, things were going on with the other person. But in my case, it was like I was the reason why. I was the reason, the relationship didn't work.
Mhm.
Um, okay. I'm sorry, guys, because this is like really, really fresh, but I really don't mind talking about it, so it's whatever. Okay. I mean, not really fresh, but it's fresh enough. Okay. So you all agree that you really can't be in a relationship. You can't love someone if you don't love yourself, right?
Amen.
I agree.
Okay. And you also cannot be in a relationship with someone else if, you don't really know who you are as a person, right?
Mm. Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I'll
There.
yeah, for the most
So
part.
the rhetorical question. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, one more time.
Shut you down.
I'm going in after this.
Hold
My
on, pause. What?
it was my fault. It was completely and utterly my fault. This and fun fact, it was a girl. The last person I was with was a female. Um, and she did everything for me. Absolutely everything. I couldn't have asked for a better person to be with, minus the fact that she was ridiculously emotional. I'm a Cancer. I don't know if you guys are like into zodiac signs or not. It
I
whatever.
am.
Okay, I'm a Cancer. I'm very, very emotional. And she was an Aries, and Aries are known for not to
Hmm.
being too emotional. So
They
in
don't
this
care about
case,
nothing.
but this case, it was the exact opposite.
I know Rob wanna laugh. I see the look on his face.
I'm listening.
You just heard the ding, and he was trying to hold back that laugh. Look at him. He's laughing right now. Look, look,
I
look,
got
look.
a text message. She's talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let her,
I'm kidding.
let her talk.
So she was ridiculously emotional. I wasn't. I didn't want to be committed because you all know I'm still in college. Um, that just wasn't where my head was at the certain time at that current point in time. I I told her multiple times, I don't want to hurt you. But it got to a certain point where I involuntarily started hurting her. Involuntarily started hurting her because of the fact that, I started pulling myself away. Oh, sorry. I have the IQ of a squirrel. That text threw me off. Okay. Well, it got to the point where we just started arguing every day. Every single
Unbelievable.
day we were arguing. Um, and I just completely lost interest. Let alone it got to the point where I really wasn't even looking at women um the way I had used to. I don't know. It's just there's nothing like a man's touch. But that's a story for another day.
That's gonna be a good show.
It is.
That just made me sick to my stomach. Okay. Um I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
All right.
But yeah, so it got to, she was talking about marriage and all this other stuff. And I want a husband. I want kids. You know what I mean? Like I loved her, don't get me wrong, but it was just certain things that like I just couldn't deal with anymore. She had a very obsessive behavior. And I don't know if you guys like are familiar with, psychology and stuff, but I was very, very into it. And she wasn't aggressive at all, but it became obsessive. If I would hang up on her, she would call me back 25,000 times. She
Oh,
would
damn.
text me. She flew to South Carolina. It was a mess. It was a
Well,
mess.
she was like clingy, like extra.
Like, and I was already pulling back. So it got to the point where I just was completely turned off by it.
Hmm.
Um, and it's crazy because after we broke up, we still, of course, we loved each other, so we were still talking and things like that. But she was pushing for a relationship, and it's not what I wanted. And by then, I was already, trying to work on myself. Because to this day, I don't know who I am as a person. I don't know what makes me tick. I don't know what I like and what I don't like. So it's hard to be in a relationship with someone if you don't even know what it is that you like about yourself.
Mhm.
And she didn't understand. And I have yet to find the person, well, I'm going to take that back. I have yet to have been with someone who has really understood me for me. I have habits of pushing people away. And that's another thing. I lose interest very, very quickly. I get annoyed very, very quickly. So if you really keep my attention and don't annoy me 24/7, you're lucky, And I think that's just because that's just out of frustration of me not knowing who I am. And I mean, I'm just 20. I probably still have time to figure it out. I know I'm the baby of the group and stuff. So I don't know if what I said really made sense, but that's just
Does.
what I've been going through.
It does. It makes perfect sense. Like it takes everyone's journey to finding who you are and what you love is a crazy path, and you never know how long it takes. Honestly, when I'm 31 now, I would say when I was about 27, 28 is when I really started to figure out really where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do with life. It was that because there were so many options open, and it was like, well, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this, let me do that. Like I've literally had about 30 different jobs because I like trying new stuff and figuring stuff out. But once I settled, I was like, yo, I really love this. I'm really passionate about this. And it made things a lot easier. It made accepting people and rejecting people a lot easier because I'm like, yo, you're not conducive to who I am. So I know I can't deal with you versus, yo, you fit perfectly. Like Alex, me and Alex, we play Xbox together. I've been playing Xbox with Alex since 2008. That's like an older brother right there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why I gotta
you
be
just have
old?
to. Aren't you older than me, sucker? But yeah, I definitely feel you on that, yo. And it does take a very understanding person because it's frustrating because when someone doesn't know who they are, they're going to be very inconsistent. But you have to know it's because they're growing and they're learning, and you got to have patience with that. And it's not always easy for everyone to do.
Hmm.
Most definitely. And it's crazy because the last guy I was with was a good 2 years ago. And he cheated on me with multiple people, more than two, more than three.
Wow.
It was, hold on.
You know what, Rob? On a quick caveat, we need to put that. I don't know if it's on the topics list, but why do people cheat? Or you know,
Oh, man.
that's for another day. Cause it
Yo,
makes me wonder.
I know why my ex cheated on me, and
Yeah, but we'll talk
yeah,
about
I'm gonna
that
put
another
that.
We
time.
know I don't know why my ex cheated on me.
We can do that right after this show,
I'm
actually.
definitely cuter than his girlfriend, so I don't know why he cheated on me.
All right.
Yo, that's another thing. When they cheat on you and they don't go up when they cheat, they go backwards or go down. It
Yeah,
makes
they
it worse.
downgrade. Like, what's that about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll save it for another topic. I could talk on that one.
All right.
All right,
Yeah. That you
Rob, I'm
call it.
gonna I'm gonna given my situation, I'm gonna sit this podcast out because I don't want to get all
okay,
like emotional right
I
now.
got you. I got you. I got you, and I understand. I'm here for you.
And we can always revisit it at another time. I'm like I said, this one should be like a part one, and
Yeah.
I
because
agree. It's a really good idea.
all right. So I'll label this as part one, and then I'll just do the reminder to Rob to revisit this, at a later date and time when it's better for you.
But well, I guess that really wraps this one up. Anybody got any closing remarks? Anything they want to add?
Well, stay tuned for the second and third parts. Even if it goes
Yeah,
on even further, because this is something you can't really cram into about 15 minutes.
That's
Yeah.
Because it
that's
literally.
true. I do just want to say that I do agree with what you said, where you're like, because I go through this a lot with my exes, where it's like they don't want to hear, like, a lot of guys don't want to hear about your ex boyfriends.
Mhm.
And I don't understand that because I always want to know about the ex girlfriend, especially the most recent one, because I do think it's important to get to know someone's past in order to know their present, especially at the age where we are now. Because my past, I got a lot of shit going on
Mhm.
in my past. I've been through a marriage, I have kids, so it's like, it's a lot.
Mhm.
So I think that's an important thing to bring up when you're getting to know someone.
Yep.
I think
And you
you
said
have
it. You
to.
said it best. Like if it's recent, like you can see if there's any residual wounds. You know, I mean, they might be lashing out because a non-mutual breakup type thing. You know what I mean? So it's just so many ways we could attack that topic. It's just
I'm gonna put it like this though. When it comes to that, I'm with it, but I'm not with it. I'm with it because yes, that information is pertinent, but I feel like it has to come at the right time
yes, that's
because
true. That's
what
true.
happens, and I'm gonna say this, I can't speak for females, but I know dudes. Once you give them that information, then you don't know if you're really dealing with who he truly is because now that he knows what you've been through and how you've been hurt, he might change or just do what he needs to do to get what he needs to get and then be gone because
I agree.
you basically just gave him the blueprint to your heart. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now
And
wow.
that's why. And then it's like another thing is like because I've done that with girls before. I told them about my past, and they're like, "Oh well, I think this and I think that." I'm like, "Well, it's the past." Because me, I'm the type of person when I move on, I really move on. I heal, I reflect, and I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And some people may still think that you're hurt when you're really not. It's like, yo, I'm not finna spend the next 3 months convincing you that I'm over something. That gets annoying too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a whole nother battle sometimes.
Mhm.
But it is important because you do need to know. Like if the color red sets you off, I would like to know that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But also you got to remember, once someone tells you about their past, they're gonna hold you accountable for it. So you
Mhm.
can't ever forget. Well, I told you blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, well this is still new. Like I ain't gonna remember every little thing that happened to you that made you upset.
Thank
So
you. Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Hold on. But you guys have to realize that men aren't like women.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
We.
all aren't set up like we're set up.
Mhm.
You guys get over things way quicker than we get over things.
Oh my
So you
Some of
gosh.
don't need
us,
to, yes, I understand all you want, but at the end of the day, it's not like that all the time.
Mhm.
true.
And you know what? I agree with that 100%. And as far as what Rob said, with I'm trying not to lose the point where okay, when I first started dating my current girl, right? She said the same thing verbatim almost, where she didn't want to give me certain aspects of why her last relationship ended because she feared that I would be too accommodating or I would just become
Yes.
a certain way so that I can get all that I can get out of her. So what she said, like in time, all will be revealed. So we enjoyed each other and slowly trickled out that information. Think of it like watching Vampire Diaries or
What?
shut up. But watching like an episodic TV show, and over
Right.
time flashbacks pop up, and it explains,
Yep.
oh, this is why this person reacts to this. Like
Right.
months down the line, and by then, let's say you give it the proper growth period, while you will have completely healed over the last situation, and then when you talk about it, it doesn't affect you. So that's just
Right.
something where I agree with that because my girl did that to me. Even now, 6 months in, like I don't
Wow.
know all the details yet. You know,
Yeah.
so it just I think that trickle out information is key, but like you said, you do need to know the things that you don't want to get an undesirable response. If you, like, let's say you're joking about something that might remind your current person about their ex or something, and it may be a bad situation. It's like, well, and you'd be like, damn, I was just playing. You don't want
Right.
that type of situation. So, but man, you know what? We got to break this up for a couple more segments.
All right.
Maybe
Yeah.
next
This is a
week or
long
so.
one. We're gonna stop and then we're gonna talk. Maybe we'll do another one real quick. But thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, share the videos, send us emails. The email will be in the link below. I'm pointing like they can see me. The email will be in the link below. Thank you again for watching She Said He Said, and we will see you on the next episode.
All right, peace.